A pleasant evening to each and every one of us. Standing in front of you is Judd the Guy-joco. And before I share my advocacy for education, let me ask you these few questions. What is education? How do you value education? Do we still need to change the educational system of our country, or we just have to improve it? Education has many connotations and meaning to everyone. Literally and lexically speaking, it means bringing up students through moral and mental training. But what is education for you? It is very easy to give your notion, but it's merely hard to give justice on your idea, where in the first place, you're just dwelling yourself in the bright side without knowing its dark side. As a future educator, for me, education is the great equalizer. Yes, a great equalizer, wherein there's no rich, there's no poor. We are all equal. But there is also one factor that would uplift quality education, and that is quality teacher and their effectivity in teaching. Today, teaching comes in variety of ways and techniques that provides a distinct characteristic in itself and in determining its effectiveness. Effective teaching may be the hardest job, according to William Glaser. It is indeed true that education plays a vital role in the progress of any civilization or in the success of a person. It is the integral part of determining the effectiveness of teaching and how the information and knowledge is conveyed and imparted to the student. Teaching is to be beleaguered with passion, hard work, commitment, perseverance, and love for their craft. Nonetheless, it is not just all about bringing up students through mental and moral training, but rather it is an avenue where we as the future educator are the one who mold students for who will they become for the future. It is also include spiritual and naturalistic way, yet extraordinary way of touching lives. The importance of education is really very clear with or without it. It is basically important for two reasons according to Maulana Khan. The first is the training of a human mind which is not complete without education. Education makes a man a right thinker. Our teachers in the school trained us to become a right thinker and doer, so that we continue our game, we can manage decision-making process. It is clearly stated that a human being who has not gone to school is in their proper sense until he is educated. There was a friend of mine who was called by his friend as an ignorant, for he made wrong decisions always. Do you want to be called ignorant? Well, I bet no. I know your answer is a big no. No, no, no. The second reason for the importance of education is that only through the attainment of education, man is enabled to receive information from the external world, to acquaint himself with past history and receive information regarding the present. So the past, present, and future are interconnected with each other. Without education, man is though in a closed room. And with education, he finds himself in a room with all his wisdom open towards outside world. Thus, making our lives may change for the better. News of today always talk about changes. Changes in the government, changes of the administration, changes of our education per se. People will all of a sudden constrain themselves for changes for education, for they are not contented for what is in them and they already get benefits from it. But don't you think it's quite astonishing and alarming? Because people just think for themselves, only for themselves. They are blinded with such foolishness and selfishness, and that that may lead to the deterioration of the educational system of our country. And that may also affect the future frontmen of our nation, and that's us, the youth. People are always optimistic about education. Once they see any flaws and irregularities from it, they suddenly indulge themselves to changes. Changes without prior knowledge that when they change something, everything will start to zero, and everything will suffer from unnecessary changes. Changes are just a defense mechanism where we alter, or they say, make difference and escape from the predicament of life. For me, there's nothing to change the educational system of our country. Perhaps all we need is improvement. Improvement for what is in us right now. Improve the facilities, support the education program implemented by the government, and most of all, improve the quality teacher, the quality education. The value of education will surely bounce to success if we unite and support each other. Everything is possible. Crab mentality no more. And before I end my speech, let me give you this nugget of wisdom. Value education the way you value yourself. Education is an invitation for the progress of our nation. Let's build a better nation through better action for the progress of our nation. Remember the song of Justin Bieber? Never say never. That would be all. Thank you.